What's going on, you guys? Slim here at YCS Vig, my brother Asian Persuasion.
You already know.
The one and only Mr. Squiddy.
Squiddy.
And we're here with one of my favorite people, Mr. Andy Tsang, back on the channel after quite some time, because I know you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That much.
Yeah.
In fact, case in point, he literally just told me for his deck profile he started playing again last week and made it to what, top 8?
Yeah.
Insane. And
my,
what did you play? I know you guys all played different decks, right?
So yeah, I teamed with Herman and Luca over there.
Our boys over here. What up?
Yeah. So I played Despia, branded. So one thing I'll say is because of the new format and a lot of people were playing the previous format YCS the week before, I couldn't find a lot of deck profiles or stuff to learn from, so I had to kind of build it from scratch basically. And I kind of got baited because people told me that the new cards suck, and then once I started learning about them, these new cards are really good. So and I had to start playing them. So yeah. In the main deck is 3 Allure, which is one of the best cards because Search is the best card in the deck. Triple Tragedy, which is a little unusual. A lot of people play 2 or 1, and they play 3 McCourier, even in Allure builds. I think this is a lot better because it combos with more cards besides Allure. And then even in the graveyard, it happens so much where I will send it to the grave and not even search because it's more relevant to set a card and kill them like that. And then because I play 3, I also play Adlib, just to have a value search target since I play so many. This card's really good for playing around Book of Eclipse because they put Eclipse your Mirror Jade, you can just send it. I've sent this off, even the new Dust Dragon card, just to get access to it, so it happens a lot. Something new with the deck is triple Albaz. Most people only play 2 before, and even some people play 3, but now it's you have to play 3 because there's the new Striking Dragon card, which is if you have an Albaz in your grave, it turns Mirror Jade into triple interrupt, which is just crazy. So it's always super important to end with this card in your grave now. And then this card is so good that I play 3 more of it. So it's Upstart Goblin, and then if it's in the graveyard, it's Albaz. So and then Courier, and then some people play 2, but I think 1 is good because it's really only needed for the deck to function. But the second one's really extra. I don't think you need it. And this card with deployment, it just lets you play through Ash really easily. Before if you got Ash, you kind of had to either play around it by searching non-branded fusion, or you would just have to have tech cards. But now it's you can get Ash and still have a good board. And then the last 2 monsters are Soranir and Rebellion. So Soranir I wanted to add because it had a graveyard effect, which is relevant because I'm playing Retribution. So it would give me another way to get Retribution into the grave if I were to use Albion that turn. And because I was doing that, I thought Rebellion would be good because I needed a second light because I said I'm not playing any other monsters. Because Cortida is almost never in the deck. I need a second light monster, but honestly, this could be any light monster. It could be Nibiru, it could be anything. I had Nibirus in my deck until maybe Thursday. It's just you want a light monster that you can draw. That's about it. Yeah. So I was a little worried that I might be a little underprepared for the mirror because most of the Despia decks play so many Bestials. But when I was actually testing mirrors, I felt that the Bestials were good, but not crazy because you could they're about the same value as other cards that are also good in the mirror. So I kind of supplemented, and Bestials were just not good versus Cash or other decks. So I kind of played a small count, and I supplemented the weakness in the mirror with other cards that would be good in the mirror. On to spells, triple, the best card in the deck. These 3 at 1. This card is actually crazy. I can't believe I never played this before. It's Miracle Fusion basically, and then you can. It's not. You can even summon non-Albaz fusions. You can make whatever you want as long as you use Albaz. It's Miracle Fusion. You can make Chimera with it. It literally has no restrictions. 3 opening. It's just it's a starter, and the graveyard protection is so relevant. So this is new. And it's just great. Itali's Cartesia going first, and then Itali's Albaz going second. So when you go first, you summon Cartesia, and then you no longer lose to Imperm because whatever they do, you can chain diffuse. And then if they don't do anything, then you just make Grangunal and you send Albion, so you have to interrupt with the Mirror Jade, and then there's no coming back. So many times you just set up that board, and even if they eclipse it, you have so many cards in your back row. You have Red, Banishment, and the Lindworm in the grave, Striking Dragon, and then they just won't be able to play through it. So That's one of the strengths of this deck is just being like super good into Eclipse, like on both sides, because you can use Eclipse to stop them or use it on your own turn to protect your plays from Imperm, and it doesn't matter because you're a fusion deck, so you can still make your plays. I play 3 Allure. Allure is not everybody plays it, but I think it helps with not just consistency but like power, because you're getting the plus off anytime you banish strategy or Courier, and then you're also just digging into like main deck cards, side deck cards, like all your winners. Gold Star with Courier is the main target. It's just like super, like it searches like almost anything in the game. I don't play Foolish because it can't finish with this. And then Triple Book of Eclipse. This card is, like I said, it's really good in the format against Cash, but also it's just really good on, like when you're playing, because it's really easy to like stop them and then Book of Eclipse, and even when your monsters are face down, you can still fuse with them. So you can use it like on either player's turn. It's a super flexible card. Outside of the finals where I had to let him draw 4 cards, well, not finals, top 8.
Yeah.
I had to draw 4 cards, which sucked. So as I alluded to, I played some cards that were specifically good in the mirror, and Banishment is one of them. I believe between Lost, Banishment, and Chriskenian, if your opponent does not play as many of those as you do, they're very behind in the mirror. And I only played 2 mirrors, but neither of them played this, and it showed. Retribution was just a set. And then the last 2 cards, these were originally nibs, but I swapped them for evenly matches. When I was testing, I felt like evenly match was just a really good card I was siding it originally. I thought it was really strong, but the problem is that it lost to a lot of other side deck cards. So I decided it would probably just be good in the main. I only decided to play 2 because I really didn't want to double draw it. And going second with 6 cards and Allures probably saved enough game mode. I had a game versus Scareclaw where he ended with like Baron Negate, Wandering Griffin Rider, and the token. And then I bait 1 Negate with Book of Eclipse and another one Branded Fusion. And then I just evenly matched him. He has to keep the token, so he also saved wood. And then extra. Yeah. So extra is 2 Mirror Jade, pretty standard. 2 Levelion, 3 Albion, 2 of this guy, and then I would say that like this card, and this, and the second one, like so second, third, and second are considered Kashdir attacks, but they also just come up randomly, which is good. 1 Titaniclad, which is important for fusing with Kashdir monsters, because this is a huge part of your end board, because you're sending it to the grave to summon that Alvaz to fuse. This card is just for the Cartesia. So you need to play a target for this. A lot of people play Queritus because the way you make Queritus is still important for your combos. I choose to play this instead because I can explain it, but I actually side Masquerade, so it's actually not. So I actually have like some like leeway with that. And then Guardian Chimera, Boral Furious. So most people play 2 because I'm only playing 1 red and not Patchwork. I don't have a lot of ways to make it. And Furious just comes up a lot against matchups like Labyrinth, so I wanted to include both of them. I would get this banished and I couldn't even make it anyway, so it wasn't a huge deal. And this card is the 15th. Virgus Twelve is really good under Shifter because you're able to turn that cash monster, you negate it, turn it to level 1. And it's probably the best, if you get Shifted, it's like the best card you can make because you can't use the Mirror Gate effect.
True.
So that's my extra deck. For side, Triple Ash, basically for the mirror, but it also comes up against Lab. I don't side it in against anything else really. Frost Out is pretty much exclusively for the mirror. I thought this card might be a little too narrow at first, and my teammate actually convinced me to play it. But when I was playing my matches versus the mirror, they actually also sided it, and I realized that if I didn't side this card, I probably would have just lost the mirror. So it's a good thing I sided it.
Yeah, good thing.
1 Dark Hole. I wanted additional outs to Ibli post side. Originally this was 2 Dark Holes, but I realized that because they use the Shangri-La effect, you can just do 2 Dark Holes and 2 Thrusts, and then so Thrust can get the Dark Hole for you, and then if you're going first, you're also now able to use the Thrust to get Dimensional Barrier, which is just like crazy against everything. It hits every deck. It's pretty much the only going first card I have in the mirror, in this entire side deck. And the last 3 cards, so I have 2 Cosmic Cyclones. This is a very generic side card. If I'm expecting anti-spell or if I'm just playing against a deck that's like very interactive, I'd like to side this card just to like snipe skill drain and stuff like that. I didn't think I needed 3 because I play Allure, so I have so much draw power. Yeah, and the last card I sided was Masquerade. So originally, I wanted a card for time, and I didn't want to play this one because it's really hard to use in time because you kind of have to have like 7 minutes or something and then like make it and then you have to let them play, and it's very easy for them to turn into a draw. But I was convinced on it because, like I said earlier, a lot of the lines you need a fusion that can be made like Queritus, or they have the same summoning conditions, and so a lot of people use that slot for Queritus when like Proskenion is just the better card in like a lot of situations. But because I side this, any game after game 1 I can just side this in and side out a card, and then I'll have access to both, or like if I side this out then I'll have access to this, and it will no longer be an issue. So because of that, it gave me by siding this card I had the freedom to main this card. This card's insane. In my top 16 I used it to banish an Albion, or he had Albion, I had Albion, so I used my branded. I knew he had Magnum in hand, so I used Banishment to bait the Magnum effect, so that he would summon it, and I could trigger Drain Guno summon this to banish his Albion.
Gee,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Wild. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Yeah. Shout out to my teammates again.
Yes.
They carried.
You got carried to a top cut?
Okay, so we finished X1. My personal record is X2. So I think I like to say that I didn't get carried, but no X2s made it, so I guess I did get carried.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty good. You coming back after a while, and like you said, you just started playing again last week. So quick study, and
back to retirement now.
And I think I think you made a good meta call as well. We've been trying to figure out what we think the best meta calls were. If it wasn't Cash, and I think Branded and Labyrinth were some of the best meta calls.
Yeah, it was actually really helpful. So like the way our team structure is, like our A was he's also playing Despia, but like it's a totally different. It's like blind second, and our B player is Herman playing Labyrinth, and because he's playing like a trap deck that like kind of doesn't have to like not saying it's like tell him it, but he doesn't have to like spend as much time thinking about his plays. I can just like interrupt him at any point in the match. Like stop paying attention to your game and look at my board.
Oh yeah, he can help you.
It's also like to confuse you and Luca when it comes like on
Oh,
that.
and then because
yeah.
me and like Luca's Despia builds were so like he would nib them game 1, like they play nib, and I'm just like yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Watch out.
Yeah.
out.
It's a good strategy.
And it wasn't even intentional, but
It just
ended up
happened
working
that
out
way,
really
huh?
well, so yeah.
Hilarious.
Congratulations on another top, man. Great to see you back, and thank you for the deck, bro.
Thank you.